It's called Sweetwater Junction, and it's part of a $200 million project that includes a branch of BSU and the Snake River Stampede Events Center. The official announcement came just a few hours ago in Nampa. Idaho at 5's Heidi Bodine was there, and she joins us now to tell us about this project that really is kind of coming quickly now.
Oh, it's coming very quickly. It's expected to be completed by Memorial Day next year, just about a year from now.
Wow.
And that's really hard to believe when you take a look at the pictures. Sweetwater Junction will include a theme park with 27 rides, a water slide park, an IMAX theater, an ice skating rink, an old-time car museum, a farmer's market, and a movie studio. A movie studio that promises to attract big names and also use local talent.
We're going to have state-of-the-art studios, and I've shot in many different states. In no state outside of California, New York, North Carolina, and probably Florida will have studios like ours.
Developers estimate the park will bring in $32 million in tourism money the first year, $60 million in 5 years. And Dee, if you're looking for extra work, you'll be glad to know that as a TV extra, you can make up to $90 a day once the movie studio is here.
I think a lot of people would do that for free.
I know, just for the fun of it.
And it's so hard to imagine here in the Treasure Valley. Now, why do they think this is such a good area?
That's what's amazing. They say this is just the perfect market. And one of the reasons is the location is right on I-84, and more than 4 million people drive past that location every year. And 60% of the business is expected to be from out of state.
I think a lot of people are still rather skeptical, though. They can't quite believe. So groundbreaking
A lot of
when?
It is going to be mid-May already.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Heidi, thanks for the update.
Our Michelle Hicks was in Nampa today. She joins us now with the details. This is a big deal, huh?
It really is. You know, Service Club members, they were meeting for their annual lunch at the Civic Center today, and I don't think they could believe what they were hearing. Several new businesses are heading for Canyon County. The centerpiece will be an amusement park and film studio.
Picture this, a theme park the caliber of Disneyland nestled between I-84 and Swiss Village Cheese. That's what this Nampa native plans to build on 400 acres dubbed the Field of Dreams.
The land was perfect for it. We're right on a major intersection, and it's in the center of the valley, so this really is the right place to do it.
With 27 amusement rides, a water park, a shopping area, and an IMAX theater, Eastland hopes his Sweetwater Junction becomes a major vacation spot. 4.5 million out-of-staters drive by the site every year, but the draw which could get them to slam on their brakes is a motion picture studio.
The movie studio will do well, but it also is an attraction for what we're doing, so it was a very natural fit. We'll have stunt shows and other kinds of things that go on at the movie studio in addition to what they do.
But a major theme park isn't the only good news for Nampa. Micron Electronics announced it's moving its custom manufacturing company from Boise to Nampa, along with 550 jobs. And BSU President Charles Rook announced BSU West will break ground just north of Sweetwater Junction. While all the announcements are good for Eastern Canyon County, the western end is feeling a little left out. Caldwell Mayor Dick Winder says the whole town's disappointed it didn't land the BSU site, but...
Well, Caldwell's in very good shape. It's just that would have been a nice project to have in the community.
While Nampans took in all the news today, one thought stayed in the back of their minds.
And we're just hoping that we can keep, along with progress, we can keep the same type of friendly, progressive city, but still be a city that has family values.
Now, Ron and Molly, the man who is going to be heading the film studio is the former head of MTM Studios. He now calls Eagle his home, and he says we could see some major motion pictures being made right here in Nampa.
Wow. Incredible. Michelle, when do we expect to see some of this stuff going up?
Well, you know, there's so many things going on. I had to write myself a list. So let's take a look. Construction on Sweetwater Junction is going to begin this summer. It should be finished by Memorial Day 1997. Micron Custom Manufacturing is going to break ground very soon. They plan to be finished by September. And the new BSU campus, that could take a while because it's a state agency. They have to jump through a lot of hoops. The first project is getting to the Board of Education and getting them to approve it. It's on the agenda for April.
All right.
We'll see what happens. Thanks.
We'll give you the details soon on a multi-million-dollar amusement park and movie studio coming to Nampa. Today, plans for Sweetwater Junction were unveiled to the public. The theme park will cover some 150 acres of Nampa farmland, raise millions of dollars, and bring thousands of visitors to the Treasure Valley.
And this is a wonderful, wonderful market to come into. There's no competition. The closest competition is Salt Lake City. So we really are the gateway.
The theme park will be located right next to the new Snake River Stampede Rodeo grounds. We'll have more details for you coming up in the next half hour. But first this half hour, the city of Nampa could soon rank right up there with Hollywood.
Today, plans were unveiled for a multi-million-dollar movie studio and theme park. As Creighton Webb reports, the enormous project means a lot of new money and people for the Treasure Valley.
Look out, Hollywood. Look out, Disneyland. The city of Nampa is providing a little competition. It's called Sweetwater Junction, a $25 million project to develop this 150 acres of farmland into an amusement park and movie studio. Developers say for them, Nampa hit the spot.
We have the finest opportunity, the finest market in America for what it is that we're about to engage in.
The only such place in the Pacific Northwest comes complete with a water park, an amusement park, shops, a farmer's market, not to mention a complete movie production studio. And while it isn't Disneyland,
I mean, we are much smaller. We expect to be that. We expect to be much more family-oriented.
investors guess 250,000 people will visit the new vacation resort every year, most of those being out-of-staters. After all, 4.5 million non-Idahoans pass by that site on I-84 each year right now. And it's conveniently located between the Snake River Stampede Rodeo grounds and the new 45-hole golf course. The interstate is right behind me, so to give you an idea of the whole layout, the water park would go right here, with the movie studios, the amusement park, and all the shopping directly behind that. But many are wondering if this is just too much growth too soon. And the question is, can an infrastructure in a town the size of Nampa handle it?
We see this as an enhancement to the area, not really changing the area.
And for now, everyone is seeing only dollar signs for Nampa in this farmland, with estimates of profit at
The $32 million in the first year.
600 new jobs, not to mention profits for local businesses on those movie-making ventures, and of course, a chance for stardom.
We have a nice little film commission here, and we'll be hiring a lot of people here, creating a lot of jobs for a lot of people.
And good or bad, Sweetwater Junction is bound to bring a lot more visitors coming to Idaho to enjoy the sweet life. Creighton Webb, Channel 6 News.
Construction on Sweetwater Junction should begin in May, with plans to open Memorial Day 1997.
It may be hard to believe in just more than a year, this field in northeast Nampa will transform into a major entertainment destination. But the push is on, and developers insist Sweetwater Junction will be finished by its target date.
If we can't open by Memorial Day 97 for parts of the theme park, parts of the water park, we might as well wait till next year, because you're not going to get that certain mass of people coming through that pay the bills.
The project investors are mainly from outside the area, and developers won't give out names, only saying there's enough money to get started and commitments for the rest. Developer Bob Klosterman has an entertainment background. He's former president and CEO of Mary Tyler Moore Entertainment. Klosterman is using his contacts to get the movie studio off to a good start. His manager is Tier Turner, an area resident who travels to work as an actor, producer, and stuntman.
Oh, well.
But what about the big-name actors, those who have ties to Idaho?
At this point in time, they are not part of the principal group. However, that doesn't mean that they won't be in the future.
Klosterman says actors and producers are looking for new locations outside of Los Angeles.
It's harder and harder to go off the lot to shoot. It's too congested. You got safety problems. Permitting is an absolute nightmare. You have people, they don't want them on the streets. They're a nuisance.
But will they become Idaho's nuisance? These developers say no way. They say if Idaho only gets a fraction of the movie business, the studio will be profitable.
What you really need to look at is what is it going to do for our communities here. And I emphasize the jobs.
600 jobs that developers say will enhance an area that's beginning to flourish. Heidi Bodine for 7 Days. And the Sweetwater Junction breaking, I should say, is scheduled for mid-May of this year. In the meantime, there are more questions people have as we learn more about this project. And for answers, we're going to turn to Heidi again and ask about those potential employment opportunities at Sweetwater Junction. Scale, that type of thing.
There will be all kinds of jobs, and a lot of them are going to pay better than minimum wage. They're looking for skilled people, and they're hoping to use BSU kids, people who are coming out of school, the fact that there's going to be a campus nearby. They're looking for good business majors. There's going to be shops in this area, million-dollar shops, and they're looking for people to come in and run those. A great job there. They're also going to have live entertainment. So anyone, I mean, and this is every day, so anyone who has theater background, singing, they're going to be needed, and those are jobs that will pay well as well.
So would these be permanent jobs, year-round jobs?
About almost a third of the jobs will be permanent, but there's 600 total, so a lot of them won't be, which will create opportunities for teenagers, seniors. The Hispanic community is one that they're targeting as well.
And by the way, some of the attractions at Sweetwater will be covered, so it can be used as a year-round tourist destination. Much more to come on 7 Days.
Well, just down the road from Meridian's first hospital, Idaho's first movie studio is about to go in. As a part of Sweetwater Junction, the 10-acre studio could draw millions of dollars into Idaho's economy every year. But before that can happen, developers say the state must overcome its reputation as a haven for hate.
Looking out over this Nampa field, it's hard to imagine in a couple of years Hollywood feature films will be made here. But looming over the project is a dark reputation, one of white supremacy, hatred, and intolerance.
It's funny, for people who have never been here, the perception they have of Idaho, and because all they know about Idaho is what they've seen on TV.
Sweetwater developer Bob Klosterman is a Hollywood heavy who now calls Eagle home. Last Tuesday, he hit the post-Oscar parties to convince his LA friends to not believe everything they read.
What do people think about Los Angeles who have never been there? I mean, all they know of Los Angeles is O.J. Simpson, Menendez brothers, and riots.
The Idaho Commerce Department is trying to help Klosterman polish the state's tarnished image, with good reason. Within a few years, the studio could turn Idaho's $1 million a year film business into a $10 million industry.
We need to look at that as a bigger industry than it has been in the past and get prepared for it.
If the industry takes off, forget the battle over engineering, Idaho lawmakers will need to think about building a film school to foster its film community.
I know there's the makings of one now, but maybe this could be the anchor for it all.
Well, by the way, Hollywood isn't waiting for the Sweetwater studio to come to Idaho. The Commerce Department tells us a major feature film project is moving forward, and if all goes well, shooting will start in June near Wallace.